Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So good morning to everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Is this your family? Yeah, yeah. Beautiful family. Thank you for coming. Today's class in the beautiful Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 63, and we're doing verses 40 and 41. Is it? Which one are we going to chant? We're going to chant 41. Huh? What is it? Again, now the verses today are 41 and 42. Yeah, okay. Okay, and we're going to chant 41. 42. Okay. I'll get it straight someday. So I'll chant 41, and then we'll together chant 42. Devatadatam imam labdva trilokam achitindriyaha yonat priyeta tvatpado sasocho hyatma vanchakaha. Translation: one who has attained this human form of life as a gift from God, yet who fails to control his senses and honor your feet, is surely to be pitied, for he is only cheating himself. Report: Lord Shiva here condemns those who refuse to engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Text 42. Yastvam visvijete martya atmanam priyam ishvaram viparya yandriyarthartham vishamat yamritam tvayam yastvam visvijete martya atmanam priyam ishvaram viparya yandriyarthartham Vishamatyamritam Tvajan Gastvam Visvijite Bhartya Atmanam Priyam Ishwaram Viparya Yandriyarthartham Vishamatyam Atyamritam Tyajan. Anyone else? Yaha, who, Tvam, you. Vish Vijay rejects. Matyaha, mortal man. Atmanam, his true self. Priyam, dearmost. Ishwaram, Lord. Viparyaya, which are just the opposite. Indriya Artha, of sense objects. Artam, for the sake. Visham, poison. Ati, he eats. Amritam, nectar. Tyajan, avoiding. Translation, that mortal who rejects you, his true self, dearmost friend, and Lord, for the sake of sense objects, whose nature is just the opposite, refuses nectar and instead consumes poison. So I'll say and you can repeat. We'll do both verses together. Okay? Text 41. One who has attained this human form of life as a gift from God, yet who fails to control his senses and honor your feet, is surely to be pitied. For he is only cheating himself. That mortal who rejects you, his true self, dearmost friend, and Lord, for the sake of sense objects, whose nature is just the opposite, refuses nectar and instead consumes poison. Purport: the person described above is pitiable because he rejects that which is actually dear, the Lord, and accepts that which is not dear and is ungodly, temporary, sense gratification, which leads to suffering and bewilderment. Om Jnana Timirindasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopeka Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchan Gaurange Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Vipriye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'm going to read these verses again because they're very powerful verses, aren't they? Lord Shiva says, one who has attained this human form of life as a gift from God, yet who fails to control his senses and honor your feet, is surely to be pitied, for he is only cheating himself. That mortal who rejects you, his true self, dearmost friend, and Lord, for the sake of sense objects, whose nature is just the opposite, refuses nectar and instead consumes poison. Wow, this is a heavy statement Lord Shiva's making, huh? It's true. These two verses speak volumes, don't they? So one who has attained this human form of life as a gift from God. Lord Shiva is pointing out that we get this human form of life as a great gift. Now, we don't think of it. It's like we, the living entity, when we're caught up in this material nescience, we're caught up in what's going on around us, and we believe that I am my body, this world is real, this is my home. I'm trying to figure out how I fit into this world, how I can survive here. Because in previous lifetimes, I was in non-human forms. And so I recognized at that time that this world was a place of danger at every step. And the animals most of them spend most of their time trying to keep from being eaten. Isn't it? You ever notice sometimes outside the window you'll see a little bird? Bird sees some seeds, and so he's thinking, oh, I'll go get some meal. So he flies down, but he's very cautious. Eats a little bit. So he's thinking, any minute a cat may come, or a dog, something, because I'm somebody's food. Isn't it? So in every species of life, there's something that wants to eat you, or maybe several things. So we have learned, as we've transmigrated through these 8,400,000 species, through the 8 million species of animal life, we've had to be careful not to get eaten. You see? Maybe when you're an elephant, you don't have to worry so much. A lion, the lion is king, although the lion can sometimes be subdued. So then we get this human form of life. So now I'm what do they call it? I'm the top of the food chain. So now I'll eat just about anything, and everything fears me. Why? Why is it that everything else is afraid of the human being? Because the human being has intelligence. It's like one time, Jivananda Swami was telling me the story. Srila Prabhupada went to the zoo with some devotees. They took him to the zoo. I think it might have been the San Diego, California zoo. They have a very popular zoo, so they were very proud of it. So they took Prabhupada there. And so they went to the cage of the lion. And the lion was like, ah! And one devotee was going, ah! And the lion was, ah! And Prabhupada said, no, respect. He's king. He's the king. He's the king of the jungle. And yet, we have him in a cage. So then when they got back to the car and they were about ready to leave, Prabhupada said, so, what did we learn? And Jivananda Swami was like, huh? Was I supposed to learn something? I thought we were just looking at the animals. Prabhupada expected, you should always be listening and hearing, learning. Prabhupada said, the lion is king, and yet we have him in a cage. Therefore, intelligence is king. So, this human form of life gives you some very potent intelligence. The lion, he's thinking, I can have just about anything to eat that I want. I can go anywhere I want. By the way, let me ask you a riddle. You know what a riddle is? So, where does a 400-pound lion sleep? Huh? Where does a 400-pound lion sleep? Anywhere he wants to. Get it? That's supposed to be funny. He's big. He's the lion. He sleeps wherever he wants to. You see, he doesn't have to worry so much about some being attacked. You see, so the lion has his limitations. He's so strong and he's so fast. He's so ferocious. Big teeth, big claws, and yet you can get him in a cage. You can figure out a way to subdue him because your brain is much more potent. Your brain is much more powerful. And so, because you have this human form of life, the lion doesn't wonder, is there life after death? They don't sit and talk amongst each other. Is there a God? Is there a lion heaven? What happens to us when we leave this body? They don't think like that. They don't have the capacity. Their brain can't go that far. It can think about how to subdue an enemy, maybe how to hide, wait for their food to come by. You know, they can be very tricky. You see, they have to survive. You see, but that's the extent of it. They don't know how to figure beyond that. So here you are in this human form of life. You're nowhere near as powerful as the lion, are you? Why, we can't outrun the lion. He can run much faster. He's much stronger. He has greater weapons, teeth, nails, you see. He has much more experience at fighting. He fights a lot. We don't fight that much, you see. And yet we can put him in a cage because of our intelligence. We're smart enough. So with this brain that we have, we can actually inquire. And from time to time, most human beings do wonder, is there a God? What happens? I'm looking around and I'm seeing people around me dying. What happens? What happens when we die? Is there life after death? Is there a God? Some people say there is a God. Is there a God? If so, what's this God like? I think I want to know more. I want some answers. So we're starting, because of our intelligence, we're starting to ask intelligent questions. Intelligence means you ask questions. You see? You have the brain mass that you can wonder, oh, is there this? And if you say that, then does that mean this? So that's the intelligence that takes over where the lion's intelligence is exhausted. He knows how to run and hunt, how to fight. You're not so good at that, but you know how to build a nice temple. You know how to read Shastra. Krishna comes in the form of Shastra. And because of this human brain that you have and these human eyes, even though your eyes may not be so good, it's like at my age, sometimes I get mucus in my eyes and it's hard to see. But still, because of my human brain, I can see well enough to read. God is speaking to me. God's devotees are speaking to me. Krishna is reaching out to me through Shastra, through the sadhus. It's like Prabhupada said, if you go to the holy place, if you go to Mayapur, and you go there simply to take bath in the Ganga, then you're missing the point of the holy Dham. You're taking an auspicious bath, and that is very nice. But you should associate, when you go to the Dham, with the sadhus that are there. The sadhus can give you Shastra, interpreted through the sadhu's understanding. And this can change your entire life. It can change all of your future lives. It can eliminate future lives and send you back to Godhead this lifetime. And so we've got this marvelous human form of life. And we can use this brain to do so many things. Why, we can build a big tower in the midst of Paris. We can design it, and the engineers can build it, and everyone can look at it, and someone can charge you money to go up and see it. But what did you do? You built a big structure. What was it an offering to? Who was it offered to? Was it an offering to God? Basically, it's just there. You could say, well, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty. What does it make you think of? What does the Eiffel Tower make you think of when you see the picture of the Eiffel Tower? Makes me think of Paris. I've never been to Paris. Have you been to Paris? But I'm sure that the Eiffel Tower is there, and I'm sure that I don't really care. Because when I go to Paris, I want to see our temple. I want to go see Krishna and Krishna's devotees. The sadhus are there, even though it's not the holy dham, it's not Vrindavan or Mayapur, but the sadhus are there. Srila Prabhupada's words are there, and they're being spoken by sadhus. You see? So, if we use this fabulous brain that we have, this human mind, if we use it properly, we can actually uncover the real secrets of the universe. We can actually, as a matter of fact, if we don't, then we're not behaving like human beings. You have this marvelous brain, but you're simply using it for the animal propensities, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, just like all other 8,400,000 species. You see? Everything has to eat, everything has to sleep, everything mates, and everything has to defend in different ways. But the human being, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending is very regulated. It's very different. If you want to be like a devotee, there's prescription on what should you eat. Ayurveda tells you how to eat, when to eat, how much. You see, there's this education, and your brain can understand. Sleeping, mating, there are regulations for mating for the human being. There aren't any regulations for the animals. It's like Prabhupada gives the example that if you're driving down the street and there's a red light, you have to stop, right? And if you don't stop, then the policeman may get angry and give you a ticket. But if there's a red light and the dog is running beside the car and he doesn't stop, does the policeman go after him and give him a ticket? No, we don't expect anything from him. He doesn't have the intelligence. He doesn't have the same regulation that the human being has. We have regulation because we have a brain. We have this human brain. We're not required, or the animal's not required this regulation. He can't do it anyway. You see? So, along with this brain that we have comes a certain regulation, certain thing. In the Bible it says for those who have more is expected. The human beings have more intelligence. So therefore, a different performance is expected. You see? You are a human being. You have a human brain. You're expected to behave like a human being. But for so many billions of lifetimes, we've had animal bodies, and we've been able to act in an unrestricted manner. You see? We can run the red lights. We're not held up to any standard. You see? And so we have that tendency to not want to follow regulation. There's a little bit of that tendency in us. We will think that, oh yeah, I will follow because I don't want punishment. I'll stop at the red light because I don't want to get a ticket and have to pay. You see? Other than that, we would rather not follow any regulation. I would rather just go. Let everybody get out of my way. I'm the most important driver on the road anyway. You see? So, Lord Shiva is pointing out that this, this human form of life is a gift from God. This is a loving gift. Why? Out of the 8,400,000 species, only 400,000 of them have a human brain, and we don't know the level of thought that all 400,000 humanoid have. Well, I don't know. They may all have a brain that's capable of wondering, is there God? Is there life after death? Is there something I can do to prevent having to take another birth? You see? As a matter of fact, some people, even though they have human brains, they don't know how to use them properly yet. You see? I've had people, when I'm speaking, say, well, what is wrong with taking another birth? Isn't that good? Why, I have death, and then I have another birth. Another life to enjoy. Or to try to enjoy. So I get to make another attempt at enjoying. I get another life to struggle in the material existence. The intelligent person from at some point in his existence is going to wonder, do I have to take another birth? Because if I take another birth, then death is guaranteed. Jai Sri Sri Gaurani. So, Lord Shiva is pointing out that this is a great gift from God. Yet, who fails to control his senses and honor your feet is surely to be pitied. For he is only cheating himself. We're cheating ourselves. I've got a human body. I have a human brain. Why, this is a way to get out. This is a way to end the cycle of birth and death. I can prevent taking another birth, and that prevents taking another death. I don't have to go through another suffering. I can actually go back home, back to Godhead. But I choose, it's my own choice, although I'm influenced by the world around me, I choose to not pursue this spiritual path. I choose to try to engage my senses in enjoying. That's my choice. Now, in our defense, we can say, well, there's intense influence. But you still have the choice. You still have free will. If you never hear this science of Krishna consciousness, then you didn't have much of a choice, did you? You're like everyone else. No one really knows. I was on a long flight one time with a Monsignor going from London to New York. He was very high up in the Catholic Church. Elderly man, At that time, I was probably in my 50s, and he was my age. He was 75-ish. At seven, I'm 75. He was maybe my age, maybe older. And so he could see that I was some spiritual kind of person, and I could see from the way he was dressed, he was some spiritual person. So we had some spiritual discussion for a couple of hours. And then we decided that we were going to try to take a nap. And so he said, it's been very nice talking with you about God. I'm glad you listened to my opinion, and I very much appreciate your opinion. But in the end, my friend, we have to admit, no one really knows for sure. And I was stunned. He'd given his life. He was some high-ranking official, big gold cross and big, gigantic gold ring. He spent his entire life studying, teaching. And he's saying, but I don't know for sure. That's not good. You should know. Can you know? Can you know God? You think you can know God? Where does it say that? This is an easy question. Huh? Can you know God? Can you know him in full? Free from doubt? Krishna says yes. 7th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, verse 1. If you practice this bhakti yoga, loving devotional service to me, you will know me in full, free from doubt. This is Krishna's guarantee. It's like a contract. It's in writing. It's a written contract spoken by God himself. Krishna doesn't want to hide from you. Why would he want to hide? He wants you to find him. He makes it very easy. Well, he sends people like you. He sends people like you out to find people who don't know him. Go, bring in the lost souls. Give them the chanting of Hare Krishna. Give them some prasadam. Give them katha. You know me, so now introduce me to them. Isn't that polite? That's a polite thing to do, isn't it? If the two of you are together, you know each other very well, and you come across a stranger, wouldn't you introduce yourselves? Or let's say you know somebody, he doesn't. So you would say, oh, hello, my friend. This is my friend here. And you introduce. That's just polite. So Krishna wants, he's always with you. He wants you to introduce him when you meet someone. Get them to chant Hare Krishna. It's like one time Prabhupada said, just by the way we dress makes people say Hare Krishna, isn't it? And wherever I go, people are saying, Hare Krishna. So just by seeing you, they think of Krishna. So you're introducing Krishna. And you say back, Hare Krishna. And sometimes people will actually say, especially in India, they'll say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You notice? Have you had that? You see? So you're introducing, wherever you go, you're introducing people to Krishna. Why? I'm all about Krishna. They see the bead bag around your neck. Did you ever have anybody ask, hey, what is that? What's in that bag? You ever had anybody ask that? In America, they ask, what's in that bag? They see, these are japa mala. What are japa mala? That's how I chant Hare Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna? Yes. Like this. I'll say it and you say it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then they say it. So I said it, you said it. Can you say it again? Yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I'm introducing you. I'm introducing you to Krishna. You see? So this is proper utilization of this human life, this human form, this human brain. So not everyone has been exposed to a sadhu like yourself. Not everyone has been exposed to nice devotees. Not everyone has ever seen a nice devotee family. You see? So some people, they haven't learned yet that they have this powerful human brain. They don't know. They're somewhat innocent. Somewhat. You see? It's our duty, because you know, it's our duty to share it. We must. You see? And therefore, they won't waste this opportunity. It's, as Lord Shiva says here, the people who don't, people who fail to control their senses and honor the lotus feet of the Lord are surely to be pitied. Why, we should pity them. That means, it doesn't mean we pity them and put them down, criticize. No, we pity them out of compassion. We want to help them. This is the nature of the Vaishnava. We want to help. That is why we're here. The world is in trouble. The world needs help. That's where you come in. You are armed with the information to help everyone. Everyone. You can do it. You have it. You have the ammunition in your bead bag. You have books. You have this nice, beautiful community, this beautiful temple that you can get people to come and associate. And we can share our knowledge of Krishna. As Krishna sends more and more nice people to our community and to our temple to associate with you, be on the lookout, because Krishna is going to send, sometimes he'll send a better devotee than we are. Isn't it? We can't think, well, I'm senior. I'm a senior devotee. So you can't be as good a devotee as me because I'm senior. No, we don't know who's going to walk in that door. Some people walk through that door and they become very advanced right away. Isn't it? Have you seen that? And you look and you think, I'll never be as advanced as this person. See? Sometimes Krishna may send someone to you who's more advanced than you to take shelter of you. So you have to give shelter like that. Remain humble. So Lord Shiva says he's only cheating himself. That's pitiable. To see someone cheating himself. If you see someone who's fond of smoking cigarettes or consuming alcohol, he's cheating himself. These are leading causes of death. But to speak of spiritual problems that it causes, but these are leading causes of death. Someone smoking, and you think, this poor person, he's cheating himself. We shouldn't think, well, I'm much better than he is because I don't do that. No, we should have compassion. How can I help? Some way I might be able to help. It's your duty to help. If you can't help, or if you won't help, whose duty is it? Who are the special forces that are out there that are going to come and help these people? I think it's all of you, right? Whose duty is it? You can't say, well, that's not my job. Lord Chaitanya doesn't say that. You see? No, it's your job. It's your duty. If you have this knowledge, it's your duty to share it, to wake up these sleeping human brains. Wake them up. Help them. You could be waking up a devotee that's much more advanced than you, and that might go on to be some fabulous devotee. You see? And then the next verse, I'll read this one quickly, and then we'll have some questions. That mortal who rejects you, his true self, his dearmost friend and Lord, for the sake of sense objects, whose nature is just the opposite, refuses nectar and instead consumes poison. This is a very heavy verse. I'm rejecting Krishna so that I can pursue the sense objects, but yet through pursuing the sense objects, I'm trying to get some enjoyment, right? But the source of enjoyment is the person that I'm rejecting. Krishna is the source of enjoyment. He's the giver of pleasure to the cows and the Brahmins, Govinda. He's the source of enjoyment. So if we have knowledge, then to pursue the sense objects doesn't make any sense. If you get the source of pleasure, then you're going to have pleasure, right? If you get the source. And so therefore we want Krishna. We want him. We'll have all the enjoyment that we could possibly ever experience. It's not that the devotees of Krishna don't enjoy. We all enjoy in such a wonderful way. So I think I should pause now and see if there are any questions, comments.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your wonderful class. Prabhuji, we find in the age of Kali, people have very low intelligence. As you find, Manda Sumanta Matayo Manda Bhagyo Padruta. So as the age is progressing and the intelligence is going down, on the top of it, we have so much of bombardment of sense gratification. So we are having the curse of having low intelligence due to the age of Kali. On the top, we are unable to perform tapasya in terms of restricting oneself from the bombardment of sense gratification. So what happened that people, even though they are introduced to Krishna consciousness, after some time they face this challenge. And sometimes it happened that they give up the process. Someone has been introduced to the process, after sometimes he gives up the process because he's not able to handle the bombardment which comes of the sense objects. So how to deal with this? How to work on intelligence and how to fight?
Give me an example of those sense objects.
Like internet we have, or everywhere things are becoming westernized. So internet and the things becoming so westernized.
So you're saying that because of the bombardment of the sense objects, that makes it difficult to remain in devotional life.
Difficult to fix up in devotional life.
Yeah. So this is just through a process of purification. We have to purify the senses. The senses, once they're purified, will seek purified sense objects. So we purify the senses by offering the senses to Krishna. It's like we're offering. Like I noticed when I was putting the garland on Srila Prabhupada this morning. 2 nice lotus flowers in the garland. And I got a whiff, scent. So as I'm putting the garland on my spiritual master, I can smell, oh, how beautiful this smells. You see, as I'm offering the agarbatti, its fan is blowing it in my face. I'm smelling. So my sense of smell is being engaged. It's being purified. You see? And so now, the rest of the day, I'm going to remember the smell of that garland. This wonderful agarbatti. Do we make that ourselves? Do we make that? It's very unique. It's very unique. You see? So now, I didn't mean it, but my senses become purified. I'm thinking, I want to smell some nice aroma like that. And it's better when it's offered to the devotee, to Krishna. So now, senses become purified, and now I'm seeking purified sense objects. I'll contemplate purified sense objects. Does that make any sense? So through the other senses, taste, I have to purify my sense of taste. I want to taste that which tastes good to Krishna. Krishna says, patram pushpam patram palam toyam. A leaf, flower, fruit, water. He says what he likes for his tongue. And then when we offer this prasadam to Srila Prabhupada, to the deity, and then we take the Mahaprasad, we take this prasadam, and then our tongue becomes purified. You see? And then we start to focus on that object for our tongue. So we've purified the nose, we've purified the tongue. We see the beautiful form of the deities. When they open the curtain this morning, there's Gornitai, and they're so beautiful. Immediately the eyes become pleased, isn't it? I mean, you see the beautiful form of the Lord. Do you think, I want to go see something beautiful? Let me look around outside and see if there's some beautiful. My eyes are hungry for beauty. No, you just saw the beauty and you're satisfied. So now you'll contemplate the objects of the eye senses. So you've taken care of the nose, the eyes, taste, hearing. We hear this beautiful kirtan. It's very attractive, isn't it? But it stays in your head. After the kirtan is over, you still hear it, huh? So now your sense of hearing is purified. Now you're contemplating that sense object. It's all becoming purified because you're following the process. What are you doing? Just an average day. This is just an average day here at ISKCON Newtown, isn't it? Like we do this every day. Purification of the senses. Touch. We see that the devotees, we embrace the devotees. It's very enjoyable. Embrace. Why is the embrace enjoyable? Because along with the embrace is an exchange of affection. When you embrace your fellow devotee, you're saying, I am so happy to see you. I'm so happy that you're my friend. This is exchange of love, loving affection. You see, this is purification of the sense of touch. You see. So as long as we can continue this process, then the material energy, what can it have to bombard us with that will attract us away? What is going to smell better? What is going to look better? What is going to sound better? What's going to taste better? What's going to feel better? See, this is using the human mind. We have this wonderful human mind, and we can use it to figure these problems out. So I have to stick to the things that purify me. Anything that I can offer to Guru and Krishna will purify my senses. It'll purify my consciousness. So in other words, if I stick to the path of bhakti, then that's a purifying process. If I deviate, then I'm to be pitied. I'm wasting my human brain. I'm wasting my resource as human being. That's very sad. Does that answer the question? We can't think. Let's not be so afraid of these outside influences. Think about what you have. Why, I have flowers offered to Krishna, incense offered to Krishna, foodstuffs offered to Krishna. We have Krishna. We can see the deity almost any time. After lunch, he takes a nap, but show up at 4 o'clock and he's there. So if you hunger to see him, if you're hungering for something beautiful, come around 4 o'clock. The deities wake up at 4, don't they? So show up at 4 o'clock. And you'll, Let's not give so much respect to these outside influences. As you're walking down the street, sometimes you may smell some stool. Is that attractive? No. Walk on past. So all of these other influences, as long as we have our senses fixed on serving Guru and Krishna, these other influences won't affect us so much. We just have to maintain that faith. And we have to contemplate the proper sense objects. Is that a good answer?
Thank you, Prabhu. So as long as we are engaged, as long as we are engaging our senses with Krishna, we are protected. However, we happen to go out after 9 o'clock, 9:30. So how?
Outside is more of a challenge, but it should work in your favor. I want to smell the flowers that I offer to Krishna, but I'm out in the world. So flowers that I offer to Krishna may not be out here. So at least I can contemplate those flowers that I offer to Krishna. And then whatever aroma I may get in my nose, I can say, this is not as good as what I have back at the temple. I'm on a mission right now to do some service for Krishna. And so I'm going out in the world of defective sense objects. They're defective in giving you pleasure. They can't. The brain, your mind may say, oh no, it would be nice. And you say, no, it wouldn't. No. that make any sense? Yes.
Hare Krishna. So thank you so much for this great class. So you have this wonderful mood that we are about Krishna. So I really appreciate this. We also have desire to represent Krishna to other. But sometimes like we get puffed up, sometimes we get superior complexity, sometimes we offend devotees in a subtle way. This also happens. So I want to, my question is like what thing we should take care, like when we want to feel like uh, I want to represent Krishna, I want to like introduce Krishna, those things. What thing we need to take care? Security means for safety purpose or like.
What things? What did you say? What was the last part?
I'm asking like this is very wonderful mood like to introduce Krishna, but for what things we need to take care in this mood, like so that we don't get distracted or we don't get puffed up.
Getting puffed up will hurt you more than anything. If we start to think that I'm better than the others, I know Krishna, they don't, so that makes me better, then that makes you impotent. You're not able at that point to give people Krishna. As a matter of fact, you'll turn them off. They're going to think, I don't think I like you. I don't like people that behave like that. Should always remain a Vaishnava gentleman. We have so much to remember. Huh? Lord Chaitanya says, consider yourself lower than the straw in the street. So how can you be puffed up? You see, we have to remember that. I'm lower than you, but you don't know what I know. Lord Chaitanya has armed me with the information to save you. But I'm lower than you. You see. I should expect more from me because I have this information. The people that we preach to, they don't have this information from Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. They don't have it. What can you expect from them? But we should expect a lot from ourselves because we have this information. So first and foremost, let's avoid becoming puffed up. You won't be able to affect anyone positively if you're puffed up. They'll want to avoid you. And was there another part to the question that what steps to take?
Yeah, similar thing only like sometimes we offend devotees and sometimes we get into superior complexity. Same thing.
Sometimes we may offend devotees uh, subtly, accidentally, and sometimes intentionally. That's bad. So we should always be apologetic. Sometimes you have to say, please forgive me for my offenses. And the person that you're saying that to may say, well, but you didn't commit any offenses. Well, but that's in case I did subtly and didn't know it. I might have accidentally offended, so please forgive my offenses. Please forgive me. 3 easy words to say. Please forgive me. Any Vaishnava, if you say, please forgive me, immediately you're forgiven. When you say, please forgive me, it's when the Vaishnava hears that, even if you have offended and upset, as soon as he hears that, it's as if the offense never happened. Ah, there was no offense. See, you have to be that way. If someone offends you, and then they say, please forgive me, Prabhu. Ah, already done. That's the beauty of this Vaishnava etiquette. So we have to understand and live by Vaishnava etiquette. In Tucson, some of my disciples have started a Vaishnava etiquette class. And once a week they meet and they're teaching Vaishnava etiquette. Not just to each other, but to whoever will come, whoever's interested. And even non-devotees that come, they say, oh, this is very wonderful. What a wonderful way to live. So, before we think, oh, I didn't do any offenses, let's play it safe and say, please forgive me for my offenses. Always feel that way. Because we may offend that we didn't mean to. Okay. So let's wrap it up. And I appreciate you all coming. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.